iDiski Times has got a WhatsApp channel. If you want to get breaking news stories immediately on your phone on WhatsApp, please click the link on the description to join the iDiski Times WhatsApp channel. iDiskiTV powered by World Sports Betting. iDiski Times, the CEO, the Zare, Magesi, 1, Mamelodi Sundowns 2. There was a lot of buzz, of course, with a lot of people when it was 1-0 at halftime. I usually say this, that one of the biggest numbers we'll ever get in a Sundowns match is when they lose. And when they lose, it becomes an event. Why? Because they don't lose often. So social media is a buzz when Mamelodi Sundowns lose. So at 45 minutes, there was this expectation, rather anticipation, that Mamelodi Sundowns, and of course there's conjecture and there's talk as well. I suppose it's understandable because there's a lot of fatigue about the same team winning that same league over and over again 7 times in a row. It's the same effect, of course, that happens in the Bundesliga in Germany. People, for no reason, don't like Bayern Munich. Now, it's not no reason. It's that Bayern Munich didn't do anything to anyone other than achieve sporting excellence. And when they achieve sporting excellence, naturally, you get haters. The same thing that happens to Pep Guardiola and his Man City. It's as if other teams are not allowed or they have not splashed on players. 80 million, 90 million. It's as if Man City are the only one that splashes that amount of money in the English Premier League. That's why they exacerbate or exaggerate when there is a charge of 115 charges of financial fair play rules. But if you think about it, is it only Man City that gets to spend on 70 million on a player? No. You look elsewhere, you'll find Liverpool has 18 million pounds players. Same with Manchester United. Harry Maguire is 80 million, and many other teams as well. It's just that when one team loses, it fatigues the hell out of the opposition. And that's the context in which we live in South Africa. That's a rather long monologue. Thank you very much for joining us, Mr. So-and-so. Thank you very much for joining me as well. Former Mamelodi Sundowns attacking midfielder. Please summarize the game for us, sir.
Mr.
So-and-so.
I'm chairman.
Just adjuster.
Easy. Ubobo Kaduso.
Yes, sir.
Lindo Mgwen.
Yes, sir.
Ngibulisa namakhaya support njalo iDiskiTV. Ngizobeka nje njalo ngichiki futhi.
Yes, so-and-so.
Olani Kabuyelo.
When you were playing in Denmark, was there a most hated team because they win all the time?
No, the most hated team was the Copenhagen
because they win all the time.
You know, season in, season out, they are champions.
So naturally that happens.
Whoever plays against them, the whole Premier League, they will support that team that is playing against Copenhagen.
And that is the Copenhagen, because we see it in the Champions League, because they always win. They would win most of the time the league.
Definitely.
Until the emergence of teams like Midtjylland.
Yeah,
and they started winning the league.
And Allpok winning the league. Yeah,
Mr. So-and-so.
Yes.
Tso Vilakazi playing in the Europa League.
Yeah. No.
Mr. So-and-so.
Kunjalo, Mr. Kyo.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Kyo, well done, Kabuyelo. It was a tough game. You know, I was telling Ubobo now, good team. I feel sorry for these players of Sundowns and also the technical team. Everyone at Sundowns. It's not easy, Mr. Nkeu, to go and play against a team that is going to play a low block where you guys have to think and think. Unobona ukuthi makuthiwa kuwe ngisicela ufaka ukhara kunalithi umebe umnyameni. I'm telling you, Mr. Nkeu, it's going to take you a lot. You're going to be frustrated and all of that. That's what happened against him in Magesi.
But the Magesi is not supposed to roll over as well.
Yes. No, I'm not saying bavule, Mr. Nkeu, but play now. Now we play.
No, they know they are inferior. Bayazi ukuthi Sundowns ingcono kunabo. So they had a plan.
Yes.
Which almost worked, but it didn't work.
Yeah, no, but
every man behind the ball. If we play on the counter, we score, and then we defend that. That's exactly what they tried. It's just that it didn't work.
Yeah, Mr. Gay, but no, that's why when I say I feel sorry for them, is because each and every team compared to the Premier League, they play the very same way. And for these boys to expect them again week in, week out to break that midfield, to break that defense and score goals, it takes a lot out of them. But
that's the price they pay for being the best team in the country. They are the best team in the country. So
yes.
that's, I mean, if you want to be the most beautiful woman in the world, sometimes you have to spend 3 hours in front of the mirror doing
Yes.
makeup and your hair.
Definitely.
And that's how you achieve being the most beautiful girl in the world. So you can't complain that I have to stay in the mirror for
Yeah.
3 hours.
Yeah.
It's because you want to be the most beautiful girl in the world. So Sundowns are the best team
Yeah.
in South Africa. They are going to play against a low block, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, that's football, Mr. Nkeo, and they need to get used to that. And I think in Shillong have time, Ratimina. One is Coach Julontuzano on Takama will say, we've got 3 points in our hands. We just need to put it in our bag. Don't try to be smart. I know him. He will say, don't try to be smart, because if you try to be smart, these guys will score. And once they score, when quarter one, he's will shy is 2. Then that will be it. Because one is my shy equalizing. You'll have you go one of ice cream at the court use that what happens go. So it's like that the quarter Sundowns, they were like, no man, I see maybe you can get the second goal and then Sundowns scored. I don't understand, Mr. Nkeo. You know, but I think that period of talking about our assistant referee and the referees.
Let me ask you, and I failed to ask this from Junior as well. It's a failure from my part. Do you blame the individual assistant referee there? Because usually Mdluli, the referee, has nothing to do with making that decision.
Yeah.
The fourth official has nothing. All of them are in a poor angle because naturally, you're offside, Bonwa, linesman.
Yes.
And the other one, first assistant referee and the second assistant referee, those are the only people that can see offside.
Yes.
Now then, do we blame it on the politics of South African football, or do we blame that individual and then do we try and train him to be better? Why do we have an instinct of blaming the politics of it as opposed to the individual mistake made by the human being?
No, you know, Mr. Nkeo, we talk about a lot of things, but in this case, the linesman said Shalulile is offside. And when you look at the action itself, Shalulile is onside. And, you know, that's where now these things of politics, they will come in to say maybe so and so are in, so and so are in, but it comes from this individual to create all this noise out of nothing. Because if he did his job to say Shalulile is on, I beg if like a pants, and then from there the police in the net, done, finish. Then there's no politics in that. But now when they take decisions like that, then now it creates a noise now to say certain team or say somebody or whatever the case may be about Sundowns to win. I mean,
well, there's only one person who did that.
Yes.
And also, for me, my challenge with the I understand there's politics involved in this country, and I know that specifically, I mean, we've watched the MTN 8 finals back-to-back in 2024 and 2023, and we saw what we saw. You cannot unsee that. Like, we saw that. We were sober, we were there, and we watched it, and we saw it, and we called it out in that moment. But we must also go back to the idea of blaming the individual who made the mistake.
Yes.
The individual. That's why we were talking about Abungile Tom. And they suspended him without announcing it. For 2 months, he wasn't there in action.
Yeah.
Because the individual made the mistake himself. Whether or not it was pre-arranged, we can't know that. Yeah. But also, the other thing is that, so if they really wanted to hamstring Sundowns, then within the first few minutes, they can give Sundowns a red card or something to make it clear that we want you to lose.
Yes. No, Mr. Gil, you know, it's said that, you know, in noise and then some names need to come out into essential. That's not a nice thing, because a certain individual took the wrong decision, and that decision now create a noise out of nothing. I hope the assistant will learn in terms of how the action happened and where was Oshalulile, because I think he was late with one step. That's why when he took that step, then that's when he saw Shalulile, but didn't see him in an action where the action started. But yeah, nevertheless, well done to Masandawana.
There's something that you said, so as you're wrapping up, sorry to cut you. There's something you said when Pirates won matches this season, because it's a title race. And we were sitting here and we're saying, it was not a good performance. And you would say that, you know what, not a good performance, but you're winning and you're in the title race. And sometimes things must go like that. And I think with Sundowns as well, maybe something similar is to be said that, you know what, Not the greatest performance on the pitch, of course, played its role,
Yep.
but you came through it, and that's the mark of a champion, both for Pirates and even for Sundowns tonight.
Mr. Ngewe, especially first half, it was not a really interesting one,
Yeah.
you know. And I said, Uguti, the coach needs to change in terms of tactics, in terms of how he needs to attack, and then the pace of the game. And that's what happened. You know, when you play as a champion, sometimes there's games where you're not going to be good, you're going to be okay and win. That's what is important. And remember that these guys, in my case, they beat the Sundowns, we find out. And so now it's a crash game to say, no, these guys, they beat us, these guys, so let's show them. And when they were leading in my case, everyone was shaking at Sundowns, 100%, to say, oh, again, these guys, they are leading now, it means it will be over. But now they had to show the character, show why they are champions
Right.
of the Betway, and that's what they did. And Ribeiro, beautiful goal. No Matthews. Well done, Gabriel.
There you go. Thank you very much, Mr. So and so. That's Mamelodi Sundowns coming back from behind to beat Magesi. It is iDiskiTV, Times, also spreading.